What is up, guys? Are you guys ready to learn something sick? I'm talking today. We are going to learn how to turn a Google Sheet, which is basically a CSV or Excel file, into a full-on directory. All right. And I mean a directory for a business, a directory for a whole bunch of industries, or even what we're going to learn as we go through the actual example and we build the code. I'm actually going to show you how to turn the whole entire directory into a job board or anything like that. Okay, so let me share my screen and you can actually see here is the directory I built. If I go to resources.myAIteam.com, this is the directory. All right, so it's AI Resources Hub, discover AI tools and resources. All right, and this essentially gives us a giant search engine where we could search stuff and we can put actual tools. So this is one of my tools, Repurposer 9000. I have a ton of software. I have a ton of tools. I have a ton of things that I help with AI people. And Callan just joined. Callan is an absolutely phenomenal, amazing developer, not just an AI coder, but like a real software developer. All right. And so I need a place to take and have a resource for APIs, group coaching, services, all of this, right? Like here's Destiny 508, which is a nonprofit. I need to be able to way to basically link to people's products. And then this right here, this little website is the magic like link. Now we could go over to their website. Okay. So I need a wheeled way to say, hey, go over to Callan's product, go check out Callan, search up Callan, and then boom, reach out to Callan and hire Callan if you need help with your codes. All right. Or if you need help with this, or I refer, hey, go check out the Repurposer 9000. It's on the resources, right? So I need one location to get this. Well, how did I make this? Okay. What's really crazy is I made this. If I actually click get listed up here, all right, we could click get listed. And let me show you what we could do. Not only is it like, it's a free directory. Okay. So we could have people get listed for free, which means this can be a lead magnet. Okay. So this means that we could say, I could start reaching out to AI tools, AI creators, people like Callan, and I could now get Callan's contact information, right? So I could get Callan's like he could come in here, get signed up, he could get his name, his email, his phone number, and he could tell me about his product, right? I probably am going to remove the phone number if I need it or if I don't, right? He could tell me about his product. And for me, let's just say one of my products that I have is, let's see. I have the AI music coaching group. All right. So I have an AI music coaching group and I can get this listed. All right. So I can say myAIteam.com/music. Description, I'm going to say AI music coaching. And I could get my product listed. Well, here's what's really cool is as I go through this, I could submit it. I could submit it as a free listing, or I could also submit it as a premium listing. All right. So if you look at this, this whole entire resources page was built in about 2 hours tops. All right. From start to finish, scratch. All right. But it also has a free way where we could set up and people could have free listings. And we also have a premium listing. So once they get listed on the free one, they have the option and it's a 7-day wait. Or it could be a free premium where you could charge monthly or charge one time, charge yearly, whatever you so choose. All right. And you can see right here, it says continue to payment. As soon as it hits continue to payment, let's see, preparing checkout, you can see right here, it pops over and I could literally pick my payment right here on this website. I could pick yearly or I could pick monthly. Okay. Well, check out what just happened. If I go back, you could see I could purchase. If I was to purchase, it automatically purchases. But what is running this whole site, right? If I go back to this front, right, and if I check over here, you can see in a few seconds, all of these, like, what's the database? Like, this whole entire thing is built super lean. So if I go into Google Sheets, you can see this entire site, this entire website is handled by 2 ways: a Google Sheet and my website builder, which handles all of our customer payments and stuff. Okay. So you can see right here, here's my Google Sheet called directory. And you can see right here, I added the company name, description, URL. And down here at number 8, we can see we have our AI music coaching, all of this stuff, AI coding, groups. You can see right here under verified and premium, it says false and false. You can see that we haven't purchased. So I can see if this people are verified or if we're accepted. If I come over here and I type in the word true in here in verified, well, watch what happens over here in our directory. All right, I will refresh this. All right. I'll refresh this. Now I have 7 tools, and then boom, now I have AI music coaching. All right, right here, AI music coaching. Heck yeah. All right, AI music group. We have that, and we have our link right here. Okay, so we have a new listing. All right, so instantly we have a lead magnet. We have a product that could be a monthly service or a yearly service or a one-time purchase. We could sell our services by reaching out to these people on the back end. And also, this entire thing is built from a Google Sheet. Okay. So Callan's the only one here, but hopefully, do you want to see how this was made, Callan?
Of course.
Let's go. All right. So we don't want to remake it where it's just, we don't want to just make a directory where it's just a directory. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start from scratch as if we are going to be making a job board. Okay. And I'm going to show you inside this same little Google Sheet how to make a job board with it. Okay. And it's the exact same thing. And the lesson here is how to connect our front end code, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, into a Google Sheet to be able to use a Google Sheet as a database. Okay. That's it. We want to use a Google Sheet as a database, quick, dry, fast, easy. We could get a Google Sheet up. Most people have Excel sheets that they have a lot of data built off of. How do we quickly launch this as fast as possible and easy as possible to manage in the future? Well, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So I have a tool called Aspire Builder Pro. Inside of Aspire Builder Pro, we have basically this is our version of HIPAA compliant version of GHL. We have doctors and nurses clients that we need to be able to help. So we pay a whole bunch of extra money to be able to have this HIPAA compliant version. And then we build all of our software, our databases, and everything on it. So there's 2 parts of this. All right. If I go down here into this little funnel mapper, all right, we have a little funnel mapper that's part of our software. Boom. All right. So funnel mapper. All right. So let me break down of what this looks like. All right. We're going to map it out before we ever build it out. All right. So essentially we have a landing page that we have here. All right. This is our landing page, which is essentially our directory. All right. So this is our directory here and directory. All right. And this could be a job board. This could be like a directory for businesses. This could be a tool directory for softwares. This could be for your affiliate products, right? Affiliate products. This could be for anything. Okay. So just think about this directory as you want a place to be able to search for your stuff. And you want to build a user interface from a Google Sheet. All right. So here's what we need to have on the back end. All right. In the back end, we need to have 2 things. All right. We need to have inside, let's use segment. All right. So in the back end, we need to have 2 things. We need to have a place to be able to handle our customers, right? Our customers and our data that needs to be safe in a place. All right. So that's what we need to have. The next one is we need to have a place for our listings. All right. And we don't care if somebody sees our listings. Basically, if you want to see the directory listings, you could go on the website and see the directory listings. So I don't really care if somebody sees my Excel sheet of directory listings. It doesn't matter. Okay. However, what this is basically saying is these right here is what we need. We need to be able to connect this directory, the front end, to the customer database and our listings where we actually could monitor and have a live database. All right. You can go through and set up a server. You could do all this crazy stuff, or you could go use Google Sheets for free and do it like this. All right. So Now we need to connect this to our customer database. I personally like to use Aspire Builder Pro, like we said. For me, there's other ones. This, like I said, Aspire Builder Pro is HIPAA compliant. All right. So now we go in here, and there's a couple things you need to do inside our Aspire Builder Pro, our account. Okay. One is, if you're going to create, let's just say we wanted to have a job board. Okay. And if we wanted this template, this website to be a job board and not an AI resource page. Okay. Here's what we would want to do. All right. Inside this, we actually want to be able to set up where we have two areas. We need to go to this little automations tab on the left-hand side, and we will create a new folder. And I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to create a right here, new folder, and I'm just going to call it, I'm going to call it jobs, job board. Okay. Job board, create. All right. And I'm just keeping it all together. And now we're going to create a workflow. Boom. All right. We're going to start from scratch. All right. And here's what we do when we start from scratch. Okay. So we're going to need a couple things when we actually set up this little software. All right. Inside this little customer data, there's some tasks. All right. So we're going to need a couple tasks. One of the first tasks is we're going to need to set up a webhook for new listings. All right, a webhook for new listings. The next thing that we need to do is set up the Google Sheet connection. Actually, we need to create a contact. All right, from there, create a contact. Make Google. Create a contact. It's called a webhook. All right. And from there, create a contact with a webhook. And from there, we need to have a Google Sheet update. All right. Google Sheet update. Boom. All right. So those are pretty much our 3 steps that we need to get done in registering this front end. Well, if we actually look at what that means, is when you click get listed, you have to be able to click an update right here. Okay. So you need to be able to get listed here, and this data needs to get sent to our CRM. Okay. So I'm going to say the pop-up is hard to see on small screens. Fix it so it's not like that. All right. If you guys didn't know, this is my AI team, which is what we code up in, and then I could just update the code, and it's super convenient. And then right now I have, it's like, I can't see the top. Like, what's up, man? So I'm just updating here. All right. And then it's going to update the code. So here is what we want to do. Inside here, we want to connect to that Google Sheet. So if I go into our trigger, we want to say this is going to be for new listings. All right. So new listings. And I'm going to say jobs. All right. And the trigger right here where it says trigger, I'm just going to type in webhook. All right. And it's going to be inbound webhook. Okay. Inbound webhook. All right. Once we have this inbound webhook, this thing is incredibly powerful. This means we could take data from one site and send it over into here. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this link right here. Bam. All right. And we're going to go into my AI team. All right. If you guys are nerdy, all right, if I was to like start this from scratch, basically I'm going to say, I would say send the data to this webhook. Okay. However, if you guys are using the little template, which is in the replay here, you guys can just basically come up here and we're going to tell it all at once. I'm going to say, can you send the listings? Let's see how we're going to do this. I'm going to say, because we have this template, I'm going to say, can you turn this into a job board? All right. A job board, and send the new listings here. Boom. And I'm going to paste. If you want a job board and you want to take certain information or whatever it is, you absolutely can. You just got to tell the AI what you want it to like update and accept. All right. So I'm going to paste in that webhook trigger there. All right. This in a few seconds, once this is done updating, we'll have it update that code too. And then while that's loading, if we want to have another product, let's just say we want to actually like make this a paid product, right? Let's just say I want to make it $25 to post a job, right? Like if you want premium job posting and you want to post a job and you want it promoted, and you want to promote that job, then I'm going to make it a paid option. All right. So I'm going to go to my payments. All right. And I'm going to go into my products and I'm going to go into create a new product. Okay. And I'm going to say promoted. I'm going to say job posting. Boom, promoted. All right, I'm just going to say featured. Boom. Featured. Boom. All right. And now what we could do is I'm just going to literally go down here and I'm going to set the price. All right. And it's going to be one time. And I'm just going to say one time $50. Okay. So if you want a one-time $50 price, nailed it. Okay. So this is to post the job. Now I'm going to hit save. All right. Pricing name. Let's see. It should update job featured post. All right. So we just created our product. The next thing we're going to do is create a payment link. Okay. So we can actually link to this product. So I'm going to create payment link. All right. And I'm going to select my product, job posting, featured. Let's go. So now I have a job posting and it's featured. All right. I could allow customer like a URL or a coupon. I could do any of that. All right. And I could also redirect to my URL. All right. So basically now we have an entire payment setup inside this. I'm going to say new promoted job. All right. Listing. All right. So now we actually have a job listing. And we have a payment link to actually be able to send people to actually purchase. Okay, so I'm going to copy this also. So now I have a little payment link, and I'm going to come into my AI team, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say here is my $50 payment link for a promoted job posting. All right, and I'm going to paste. Okay, and I literally give it my URL there. All right. So now it's going to send that data to the URL. All right. Well, the very next thing, all right, we actually have to create the job, like the Google Sheet. Well, right now I just have a directory and this is just sheet 1, but I need to create a new sheet down here. And I'm going to call this, instead of sheet 1, I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call this jobs, job postings. All right, down here. And now we have 2 sheets, right? So this is just 2 little Excel files. All right, and I'm going to say job title, company name, and description. These are all just going to be the header, okay? And I'm going to say apply link, done. All right. So you can see right here, turn this into a job board and send the new listings here. And then I'm sending those to a URL. And then I'm also got my payment link because that's where they could purchase the free or the premium. Okay. Now, the last thing, do I want anything? I have the job title, company name, description, apply link. Let's see. Is there anything else in the job that is like remote or in person? I'm going to say online or in person. Online, location. All right, that'll be online or in person. And then also opportunity rate, or let's see, how should I do that? Location. I think we should say, how should we word that? Great question. All right, so we'll figure that out, how we want to word that. All right, so basically, so this one just updated. Let's see how we have this little get listing. All right, much better. Not really at all. All right. All right. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over here into the CSV. All right. Now we actually have this CSV. All right. Here's what we do. This is the part of how do we connect the CSV to actually AI code. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to File. All right. In here, we have Share. And you see where it says Publish to Web, right? I could hit Publish to Web. And if I scroll down, we have this comma separated values. All right. So I'm going to publish to web and I'm going to hit Publish. Bam. All right. It says, do you want to publish this document? All right. And right here, it says entire document or just the job posting. I'm just going to click just the job posting. Okay. I don't want to publish the entire thing on this one. So actually, you can either the document or you could do the entire sheet. Okay. For me, I'm just going to do just the little job posting on this one. All right. So I go to publish the entire document. Boom. And now I have this new comma separated value URL. All right. And now I'm going to come back into my AI team and I'm going to scroll all the way over. And I'm going to say here is my CSV link. And I'm going to paste the CSV from over here. And if I just make like a test, like a little mock job, like my AI team, team marketer, marketer. All right. Company name. I could put my AI team. So you can see at any time with these little Google Sheets, you could update yourself, right? So like, it's not like it's going to be hard of, oh, how do I work a database, right? So I'm going to say looking for a motivated marketer. Boom. All right. Apply link. HTTPS myaiteam.com. All right. Location is going to be online. All right. So you can see I have all of this. Well, what I like to do is I copy this very first like row and I copy the header. So not only does the AI have the link, but it also has the Excel information, right? Like it has the job title. It has all of this stuff that it needs to line up. All right. So now I'm going to go back into this and I'm going to go all the way into the end and I'm going to paste it in. Okay. So it needs three things. All right. It needs where to send the leads, which is you have to set up an automation. Okay. So this sets up an inbound webhook. We're going to see the information being sent over here in a second. All right. If you refresh this page, you have to get a new URL. All right. Every time you refresh this, if you don't map it, you have to get a new URL. All right. Inside here, once you send the customer data or the lead data into your listing, then you have to decide how to handle payments. And then we're going to update this directory. Okay. So now we go into here. Let's hit generate for my AI team. Now this is going to turn this whole thing into a job board and it's going to connect to our new data sheet. Okay. If everything works. All right. So I'll hit zoom out. Hopefully I can close this. What's up? Where's that little X button? All right. So, so right now it's just discover AI tools and you can get listed. All right. So right now AI is going to update this code for us. If we wanted to update our brand with the template or anything like that, we just tell the AI, here's my logo, and you give it the URL, and here's my branding colors, and it just updates it. Okay. Let's see what we do. So now we have this inbound webhook. The next thing we need to do is over here where this says listings. We have actually one more where the listings we want to update, and this one's customer data. We also want to have, we also want right here, we want paid. We want basically paid listings. Okay. Paid listings. All right. Now we're here. Bam. All right. So that's our paid listing. And these are essentially where we want to map. This is our back end of our database, our back end of our website. Okay. So the next thing is we want to actually set up a payment link. All right. So this is our payment link. Well, what happens when somebody purchases that payment link? All right. So now we need to go back into our automations. All right. We're going to go back into our job board folder, into our little workflows. This is the one that we're working on the other one, but we're going to create a new workflow from scratch. Okay. And this is going to be a paid, I'm just going to say paid job posting. Okay. And the trigger is going to be purchase. All right. Order submitted. Okay. Because as soon as they submit an order, we need to do something. All right. So we're going to go order submitted, add a filter. The filter is going to select our global product is, and then what's our global product, right? For me, I'm going to scroll down, and this is going to be the job posting featured. All right, so we're saying is if this order is submitted and the global product is job board featured, do this thing. All right, that's what we're saying right here. And then what are we going to do? All right, well, from here, we are going to be connected to our Google Sheet. All right, so check out this. If I scroll into this, you could add tag if you want. So you could add a customer tag, and you could say, right, they purchased the job board, right? You could do all of this stuff, right? So you could add tag, you could add follow-up, you could send emails, you could do anything that you want with this inside here. All right, you could even send them a DM saying, hey, I got your thing. All right, but we're going to go down here to Google Sheets. All right, inside my settings and stuff, I already connected to Google. All right, so I'm going to go in here to select action, and I'm going to say, in here, I'm going to, inside this, before we create this one, we want to make sure, because we're creating one in this first step, we need to set this one up first. So let's wait for this. All right, you guys can see AI right here is coding it up. In a few seconds, it's going to update this entire code and turn this into a job board. So let's see what it does. So let's go. We got a new student showing up. Heck yeah. What's up, Cynthia? How are you?
I think I'm muted. I'm good. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for showing up. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Are you digging the class so far?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
my brain is soaking it in. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hopefully this helps and just shows you how easy it is. Literally, we're just taking this Google Sheet and turning it into a front end directory where we could build and see it on the front end. All of this stuff that's from this Google Sheet is being pulled in and shown right here. Now we're just updating, and now it just updated to find your next AI career opportunity. All right. So connect with top companies, and you can see right here, this one, boom, look at AI team marketer. It's sick. What's up? All right, this is clean. All right, so this is, now we have a job board. All right, like in a few seconds, AI just coded us up a job board. All right, and it has a little search. We can see it pulls up marketer. I could hit view. I could see all of this. I could go to apply now. I could click here, and it sends me to my website. Absolutely beautiful. All right. So in a few seconds, we just made a little thing. All right. Well, let's check if our little thing actually sends into our webhook. All right. So if I hit fetch sample quest, this has no results. Okay. Right here is what we're looking for. We want to send that user information over into our CRM. All right. So I'm going to hit post a job. You can see right here, we have standard job. All right. Or we have promoted job. Heck yeah. $50. Look at that. AI coded up the whole entire thing so we can actually have a promoted or a standard. Beautiful. All right. If I go with let's just go with the promoted. Let's just see what that looks like. All right. I'm going to hit my AI team. Job title. I'm going to say I'm looking for an AI coder. I'm going to say has to know AI coding, AI coding plus real dev. All right, has to know coding plus real development before AI. All right, that's who I'm looking for. All right, job type. All right, it's going to be a part-time, location, pure online, baby. All right, application URL. Definitely go to actually, I personally literally want them to reach out to me on my Facebook and message me. All right, so application URL, contact email, perfect. Salary range, like that's not one that I put in. Okay, so I'm gonna have contact email, nice. All right, so I don't have that in my listing over here. All right, so I'm gonna put contact email. All right, which here's the thing. I could either allow the contact email, which I think I'm going to allow because you can see it captures their email for this. And then salary range. So I'm going to put, I'm just going to put like, what do I want to give this person? Probably like $10,000 a year. I'm super cheap. Don't judge. All right. All right. And then we're going to continue payment. So you can see, let's see. Did it send me the payment? Ah, what's up? Heck yes, it did, baby. All right. So now we are in the payment. All right. So next check. All right. So it sent me the payment, $10K a year. Callan said, I can't afford him, bro. Callan, you better not quit your day job. Oh God, I love it. All right. So now we go into our directory. I mean, into this, and then I hit refresh. And look at that magic. All right. Inside of our references, mapping the reference, you can see I actually have this reference now. Boom. All right. Now you can see our webhook got caught, baby. All right. So if we scroll up, you can see job title, AI coder with a real dev. All right. Job title, company name, my AI team has to know coding, part-time, online. You can see here is all of my data that got sent from this front end. Does that make sense? So literally, as we filled this out, it literally got sent to our CRM. So now if you have a HIPAA compliant database, we can store that data safely. We can store all the customer data, any of that safely inside of our software. Okay. So now we have here, let's see. So I could also update where it says salary. I might want the salary as part of, I'm going to come here. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to say inside of our Google Sheet, I might want salary, right, as one of our CSVs, because that's a nice one. I'll add that, and I can update my AI to update our front end with that. All right. Is there anything else that I want to map that I think is important? Is promoted, host URL, perfect, company name. Okay. On the front end, all right, on the posted job, I also, can you have a contact name also? Okay. For the, also on the sign up. All right. Because I want a name. All right. So I could hit generate, and this is going to update, and boom. All right. And we're going to come over here. So you can see right here, this is all of our data from our actual, like from our website. So now I'm going to hit save trigger. And the very next thing, okay, remember when we were mapping out this and we have in our customer data in our checklist, it says webhook. So we just nailed our webhook. Bam. High five yourself, baby. Now the next thing we need to do is create contact. Okay. So don't leave that page. We need to create the contact. We need to map the data that we just got sent. All right. So we need to scroll down to our first name or our full name. All right. Whatever one we go. And in here, you see this little tag icon. We could click on the tag icon and we could say inbound webhook trigger. And we can now see that inbound webhook trigger is going to map all of our data. You see all this beautiful looking data right there? All right. So we can map all of our data, and I could scroll down to, this one's not going to be full name because I don't have full name yet, right? If I want to update the full name in a few seconds, we're going to, once this code does a little pop sound, we're going to resend this, okay? Because I want the full name. But if we didn't have the full name, you see how we could go right here, inbound webhook trigger? We can go right here and we could say contact email. Bam. All right. And I could make this one email. So this for me is going to create the contact right here. Inbound webhook trigger, go down to this, contact email. All right. And I could say save action. So as you see right here, now we hit inbound webhook trigger and we hit create contact. As we need to add more fields, let's just say I want website. Now we have website, and I could say inbound webhook trigger, and I could put apply link. Bam. All right. And now that will map our information from our website directory to our create a contact in our contact records. And now I can hit save. All right. And that updates the contact record right here in this little step. All right. Well, what can we do afterwards? All right. I'm going to hit save just in case. All right. What can we do afterwards? I'm going to hit this little plus, and now I'm going to go to Google Sheets, right? You see right here, Google Sheets. It's also a premium action. All right. Now I'm going to actions. Now I want to create a spreadsheet row. Okay, so look, all of these things that you could do automatically with Google Sheets. You could create a spreadsheet row, create multiple spreadsheet rows, look up a spreadsheet, look up multiple, update one, delete one. You could do all of things, right? So it's called CRUD, create, read, update, delete. Okay, so now we're going to hit create spreadsheet row. And I'm going to create an account. It's going to be my account. Boom. Select the drive so you can see I could connect to different drives. I'm going to select my drive, and then I could select my spreadsheet. And for me, this one's called, you can see all of these, right? I have a ton of them that you could select, right? But for me, I'm just going to search up directory. Boom. So now you can see we have worksheet, and I have job postings or sheet one. So literally we are connecting to directory sheet one or job posting. And I could choose which one do I want to connect to. Right here inside of our account. So I'm going to say job postings, bam. And then look, if I hit refresh header, it says starting column. You can see it's pulling in all of our columns. So now I could say job title, and then it says ending column, and I could scroll all the way down, and my ending column is salary. All right. And now I have the ability to map all of my information. Okay. So now I have my job title. All right, and I'm going to come in here, inbound webhook, job title, super easy. Inbound webhook, company name, super easy. Inbound webhook, this one is what? Oh, I started bragging and now it's not super easy. All right, what am I doing? All right, description, super easy. All right, apply link. All right, apply link, nailed it. All right, location. All right, inbound webhook, scroll down to location, mapped it. Contact information, boom. Scroll down to here, contact email, boom. Salary, map that bad boy. Inbound webhook, scroll down, salary, nailed it. Okay, so now I can hit save action. All right, and I hit save. All right, so here's what's really cool. This just updated, so now if we go hit post job, and then company name, job posting, search, location, contact name now, and then contact email. Okay, nailed it. All right. So this essentially sets up our entire area with this connection here. Okay. If I wanted to update something, I need to resend the webhook. All right. So literally, if I wanted to update this right now, you see how right now we don't have the little, we don't have all the mappings, right? Well, if I want to update this, it only has one little active, this one right here. I literally need to go in here and resubmit this. All right. So I'm just going to do a standard job, company name, my AI team, job, AI coder, coding dev. All right. I'm just going to say, all right. I don't think I have this anywhere. Boom. All right. I have, oh, hey, I have it here. It's going to save me a few seconds. All right. Has to know AI coding plus real development before AI. All right. That's my real posting. All right. So boom. Job type title, part-time, location, online. One day we'll be in Jeff's garage, baby. All right, apply, message me on Facebook. I'm just going to say message me on Facebook to see if we are a good fit. All right. Boom, contact name, Jeff, contact email, reach me at my personal, or I mean my business one, and then salary, I'm going to put 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Callan is way too expensive. So if I'm not even in his range, I'm going to go lower. All right. And then I can post a job. Job posting successful. All right. That's what's up. All right. So now watch. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to see this just sent that new webhook over here. So if I go into here, we have this new one right here. And you could see in here, it says company name, contact name. All right. So we could save trigger again, and we could go into this contact, and we could update the contact, and now I can put name. All right, full name, inbound webhook, and I'm going to scroll down to contact name. Bam. All right, now we have this spreadsheet row, and same thing. All right, so we have all this, absolutely perfect. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to hit save. So now, if we hit publish and save, technically, we've set up everything. We have the webhook, we have the contact, and we have the Google Sheet row that creates it. If we go back into our little setup, we have create a contact and Google Sheet update. Boom. Another high five to ourselves, baby. All right. So we literally have set up our very first little system that potentially could handle new listings. Let's check if that's correct. All right. So I'm going to go in here. You see, we don't have our job for our dev here. All right. There's no dev job here. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create a brand new marketing dev job. All right. Has to know the coding, part-time, location, online, application, my Facebook. I'm going to say message me on Facebook to see if we are a good fit. Must send voice message. All right. All right. I want you to know you're a real, no AI generated voice message, fools. All right. Jeff at my AI team. All right. And this is still $20. All right. Don't get ahead of yourself. All right. All right. Now we're going to post a job. All right. So if this is correct, all right, based off our hypothesis, all right, this is tested. This is published. This is inbound webhook, create a contact, create a new spreadsheet. It should add it. Does it work? 3, 2, 1, post a job, baby. Job posted successfully here. If I refresh it, what happens? If I go into the directory, did it happen? New sheet added, baby. You see that? Look at that. All right. So you see how we connected to our Google Sheet. All right. Super beautiful. If I refresh this now, refresh it, does it load? Featured jobs. Look at that. Look at that error. You see that? We have our dev job, and then we probably have a comma up in there somewhere. All right. That breaks this thing. All right. So we need to say sometimes the CSVs have commas or inter like paragraphs. Paragraphs. Fix it, dog. All right. All right. Generate it. All right. So now next thing we got to test. All right. Can we make money with this bad boy? All right. So now we have paid listings. This first one done. Green. Let's put it green. We win the internet over here. All right. Now we need to make paid listings in a couple seconds. All right. So now we go into paid listings. This one is all set up. Our workflow is done there. We have our paid listings over here. So if you see, we have our order submitted. So this is still saying when the order submitted, we need to do this. Then we need to update our Google Sheet, right? So let's go to Google Sheets. Inside here, we go to select up action, and we need to do first, we actually need to update spreadsheet row using a lookup, okay? So actually, before we do that, we need to first create a lookup. So we need to look up the spreadsheet. All right, we need to go down here to our account, go down here to the same thing where we select the spreadsheet. I'm going to select directory. All right. Any second now. Any second now. Maybe I refresh it. Who knows? Maybe I misspelled it. Who knows? Let's see. Save over here. All right. I'm just going to refresh it. Sometimes refreshing it solves all the problems. All right. We got 2 minutes and see if this class, we can rock it out in that time. All right. So now we go in here in Google Sheets, premium action. We want to look up a spreadsheet row, connect to our spreadsheet, select our drive, look up the spreadsheet directory. All right. Should be at the top. Any seconds. Directory. Come on. What's that? Why isn't it loading? All right. Any second. All right, look, it's right there, bam. All right, directory, select worksheet, and I could select postings. And then it says search from top of the list. So what this is going to mean, it's going to go over here and it's going to search from the top down. Well, I want to search from the top down, and the way we're going to search from the top down is that. And then we're also going to connect it to that email. Okay. So now we're going to go over here into that email is going to be our contact lookup. All right. So our contact lookup is our email. So I'm going to say insert value, contact, and basically it's going to be this email. Bam. All right. So this is going to look it up. It's going to look up that value, and I'm going to select it by which contact row. And I'm going to say contact email. So this is going to be the very first one, and it's going to create it. Bam. So now it's going to look it up. The next thing that we're going to do is going to go in here into Google Sheets. And then we're going to select action, and I'm going to now update a specific row, okay, using a lookup. All right. And now that select up lookup is going to be number 3. And it's going to say what our column is, what we're going to do, and all the way to our ending column. All right. Well, here's what's cool. If I want to, in our directory, if I wanted promoted, right? So this is promoted. All right. And this is just going to be a true or false. So all of a sudden, inside here, if I have this, I could say the very last one is going to be if it's promoted or not. Okay. So I'm just going to look up just this ending column, and I'm going to say promoted, and I'm going to say true. Boom. All right. So literally just this right here is our paid flow. If they buy $50, then they could go through this workflow. It submits, and it says the paid is true. Okay. How do we test this? Let me publish this real fast. Save. All right. If we go back into our, into here, let's see, into the actual payments. So we'll go into the payment links. You have the option to go into these little payment links and test them in here and turn on like a little test product, right? So we could go into edit link, and down here at the very bottom, there's a little test mode. Okay. So as soon as it loads, boom. All right. Payment mode test. All right. Let's go. All right. So once it loads, so we actually have a payment. Well, here's what we could do too. All right. While this loads with our payment, you see down here, it says live or test. We could turn it to test mode down here, and I could hit save. And now if we actually wanted to test this out, all right, well, what if we wanted to put this on a website first and test it out, right? Let's just do that, right? So I could go to view code. All right, I could go to view code, and I could copy this code, and I could go into one of our pages in here. All right, so let's just go into a page, a site, and I can make a website page into one of my pages in my AI team. I'm just going to create add new page, page name. I'm going to say jobs. All right, path, jobs. All right, create new page. So watch what we could do with any of the My AI team codes. Okay. All right, so this will create the job right here, and I'm going to hit create from blank. All right, we're 3 minutes over. That's all right. All right, the very first thing I'm going to do is have a full width, and we're going to say add new row, 1 column, and the element is going to be a code widget. All right, so I'm going to grab the code widget, bring it over there, and now we have the code editor, which we could open, and I could paste the entire code that we got from My AI team. Okay, you see how it says copy code? Bam, copy that code, and we just plugged in that whole website. All right, so I could use right here, it's go.myaiteam.com/jobs. I could hit save. I could hit publish in a few seconds. Bam, publish. And I can view this page. Now we have our jobs, okay? Some of it didn't bring over our styling. All right, we're gonna fix that in a few seconds. I could post a job, all right, in here. So now we can actually post a job. If we go into here, this promoted, you can see, I'll go into this job title, and we'll have AI Dev Coder Reel 2. Job description, must know coding, and job type. Let's go part-time, location, online. My Facebook, same thing, and salary $20. All right, now the next thing we should see is actually the payment in test mode, okay? So we come over here and you can see, boom, it's in this, and then we have our test mode. Sweet, nailed it. All right, so what I can do is I could fill this out. All right, so I could fill this out, and then if you didn't know what the little test card is, it's 424242. All right, 42424242. All right, expiration date, any date in the future. All right, so CSV code, any 3-digit number, and then any zip code. All right, that's a real one. Okay, so now we could actually go through here, and you can see if I go into this directory, we have this new listing. Now we need to see if it adds this little promoted thing. Okay, so we go over here into our payments, and I hit pay. And we should make some money. Woohoo! All right, we just made some money. All right, so now that whole thing ran. Let's see if we go into here, and we have true, baby. Let's go. All right, I got an email that I made some money in test mode. All right, and then it just updated this true. Okay, so you can literally see we are fully connecting, building this all out, and connecting into our directory. This is the front end. This is where our customer data is handled in the back end. We have paid listings, and it updates our front end listings. Okay, so in this amount of time, we set up the entire thing. I'm going to go in here and turn my thing back on so I could actually make money with this thing, and it's not just in test mode. And then I could actually launch it. Okay, one, you have the option to put it on your own like website, your GHL account or your Aspire Builder Pro account. All right. You could also put these things on your own server. You could also put this on your own server. So, yeah. Do you guys want to end the class now, Callan and Cynthia? Do you guys want to end this class now? Or do you guys want to see how to add it to your own server since you guys kind of know how to add it right to GHL? You guys showed up, so you guys get the option. Either one. All right, so in here, we're going to turn this off our test mode so the thing is on live, baby, and we could actually make money. Okay, so heck yes. All right, guys, so now we actually have this front end. I can hit refresh, and we should be able to see our code and our updates and our promoted listings. This is beautiful. Boom. All right, I'm going to go back because it looks like it broke the code. All right, there you go. AI Dev 2, baby. All right, must know coding. All right, so this is our little job that we posted. And then inside here, you can see it's managed and all of our payments are handled through our CRM. Okay, so hopefully it helped. Love you guys. You guys freaking rock. Good job, Callan. Thanks for showing up, man. So how does it happen if the contact already exists? Does it update? It does. So inside our CRM, it automatically updates those contacts if the record already exists. It doesn't create those duplicate contacts. So totally updates that way too. So great question, man. Woo, you guys rock. All right, so hopefully you guys can connect Google Sheets to custom AI code. Love you guys. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you.